and I had the privilege to work under the founders of what we call today our smart grid, which enables things like EV and renewable energy. And we were really focused on data acquisition and built the largest at the time, largest fixed cellular network in the world with the most number of endpoints, because as an operator of these systems, processing hundreds of millions of meter reads every single day, things go wrong. And you got to keep cool under pressure and you got to attack things methodically. And then I also got into database analytics. So really understanding the data that we were collecting and understanding the power of that data. And so in support, that gave me a direct customer facing role, which I ended up double down on. So brought cloud into an industry that ultimately had not adopted cloud at that point. And that gave me foundation as well to think about how do we secure the cloud and what's different about cloud compute than, say, virtual compute that we were all used to at the time. And I think that's a really important function of any cybersecurity professional, is the ability to build trust, not only in your internal stakeholders, but in this case, in our customers. And so that was a skill that I picked up along the way. I think SaaS is a better way to go. I think building this on cloud is a better way to go. I think we reduce our innovation cycles. And I built all of the infrastructure to house thousands of genomic sequences and on the cloud, partnering with AWS, which was really rewarding. And that was my real sort of compliance and security sort of official role, because that was a gap and that was something that our customers demanded. What was going to prevent the government from walking in, taking hard drives and taking our patients' data. And these are skills that weren't readily available. Cloud technology was relatively new. When I started working with AWS, they had 2 services. I think they have over 200 today. Finding that skill set on the market was impossible and very mission driven. And I think that's a key theme throughout my career. And when we moved to Lyle Pharma, this was an opportunity to build cell-based cancer therapies for patients who were suffering. When I left Lyle, we went from 0 to IPO in 2 years, able to reduce ER visits for Parkinson's patients by 48%.
You're pushing the lines with regulatory leaders when it's a new space and you're having to help them invent how they measure the bar.
And all of that is predicated on data integrity and cybersecurity, right? That's really what the FDA is interested in. A quarterly release, life moves too fast in a startup. And while that might be status quo in the industry, it wasn't going to be acceptable for us. I think that the cloud and having a declarative environment improves your compliance and your security posture. I think the first thing I would advise any sort of young person interested in cybersecurity is pick your domain and pick a domain that really excites you. And I would say that for any professional, but specifically for security, and then go deep into that domain. So if it's healthcare, go deep into healthcare. If it's energy, go deep into energy. I think that will serve you well. It will make the hard days, easier. There's a lot of garbage out there, but I think there's a lot of gems out there that can really transform your cybersecurity program. I'm really excited, for example, about this technology being able to provide really large enterprise security dimensions. So for example, red team, blue team functions that you wouldn't normally build in, say, a small startup like Rune. And within 5 minutes, we had a working list. But now we need to interpret the list. And so there's still that AI is not quite there. We still need to do the interpretation. I think as you move towards cybersecurity leadership, it becomes your responsibility to translate that deep technical knowledge into business and business impact so that you can have a reasonable conversation with stakeholders within the company.
Everyone wants to use AI, but do you think most organizations even have the foundational framework in place to really understand the risk of using AI models internally or externally and the amount of data they expose to it? Don't let the AI systems know that you want to shut them down. Otherwise, they might go about blackmailing you.